Okay, so I had the cylinder soaking with transmission fluid in them for a while, for a few hours. I came back today and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give it the beans and go ahead and give it some power. I got a fresh battery connected to my charger, and I'm gonna hit that key and see what happens. I did turn it, and it is turning fairly good. So let's try that. I mean, I don't even know if it'll work with the key or not. So let's give it a try. See what happens. Oh, yeah, he turns with the key. Oh, good. He's blowing all that oil out of there, but it's turning real nice and good. So I'm happy about that. We get this out of the way of the pulley because it looks like it's kind of grinding there. And I'm gonna give it a good turn. But you know what? I'm gonna put a couple of nuts here on this water pump pulley to keep that from flying out. Okay, I got those two nuts on the water pump pulley right there. As I crank it over, you should be able to see some of the fluid come out of there. Let's try this again. Put the battery on boost, the battery charger on boost. Let me hit this key again. It's turning pretty easy. Feel good about that. I don't know if I hear a lot of compression. But for now, I'm just happy that it turns over very, very easily. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And you know what? What are the odds that this thing will be sparking? Probably not. Can we see some spark? Oh, it's a wire disconnected over here. It's okay. It goes to the little condenser thing right there. Might be able, maybe there. They're close enough to get spark. If I can see it. If I doubt it. This thing hasn't been running for a long time. Yeah, no spark. So the next step will be to pop the distributor cap and check those points out and see how the points are doing. But before I do that, I'm going to check power to the ignition coil. Well, I have my test light here, and that'll be the first thing to do. So let's see what we got here. Okay, that's my test light. Turn the key on. Okay, we are getting power to the ignition coil. So we'll probably need to clean out the points. So let me go ahead and do that. Get the distributor cap off and continue. Let's see. I don't want to mess up with my We get a piece of masking tape and label these wires because they're just loose, and I'm gonna lose track of where they go, so it'll just create more work. So let me just do that, because once I remove that cap, distributor cap, they're gonna move and they're gonna go every which way. So let me do that. Okay, I label those on the other side, as you can see, with this blue masking tape. I'm gonna do the ones on this side. Got the odd numbers on that side, 1, 3, 5, 7, and the odds here. This is number 2, which is the first one from the front. Now I can safely remove the cap, and if the wires move, they move. So having the hood off really gives you good access to all this stuff. Look inside here, see what it looks like. Other than having a little spider in there that is dead, been dead for a while. He looks brand new in here. The same thing with the rotor, with the ignition rotor. Make sure I got this key off. I don't want to get shocked. Yeah, the key's off. I'm gonna remove that ignition rotor. It looks brand new. Someone must have been in here before trying to get it going, or they just replaced the parts and gave up. Come on, get out. Like a brand new ignition rotor. The cap looks brand new on the inside, but on the outside it looks like it's been a long time. So most likely they probably did it a long time ago, and because the car was not even messed with, it still looks good on the inside. I can see the, see if I can see the points. Not in there. I'm going to turn it over to make sure that the distributor turns like it should. Well, I'm going to turn it, and might be able to see it myself, just for the position of it. Definitely turning because the position of the distributor is different. So we're going to assume that the timing chain and all that is on time. It doesn't look like anyone has messed with it. So take a look and see what these points look like before I disconnect them or get them off of there. Can I get to the points here to put some sandpaper on them? I don't think so. I have to remove them, and I'm gonna do that right now. I think this is the starter relay. Am I wrong? I don't know. I guess not, still starting over. I think it's the fan relay. Anyhow, I need to get a better position of that of the distributor so I can get to those screws. Maybe there. Oh yeah, I can definitely get to the screw now. Screws. It's getting late, and I just want to get something done more today. I know I've been kind of trying to put out some more videos, and it's just one thing after another. Makes things difficult sometimes. Okay, well, there's the screw and out. Well, there's a set of points. How's that for a close-up? They don't look that bad right in there, the contact, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some sandpaper on them, clean them up, and then see what that does. Gonna go from there. It looks like this points and condenser assembly, it's brand new. Been there for a while, but looks brand new. Hello, it's another day, and after struggling to getting spark out of the distributor, or should I say out of the coil, for the ignition system to work. I tried everything. This is the old points and condenser. They call it a uniset back in the day because they're all together with the condenser. I couldn't see nothing wrong with these points because actually they were brand new. I went and did all my tricks. I cleaned them. I put sandpaper on the contacts. I adjusted them no matter what. I couldn't get any spark out of it. And I didn't think there was a problem with points and condenser. So I tried checking and testing everything else. But I finally went and got a new set of points and condenser. And I had to order them because they were not in stock. These cars are getting so old that some parts stores do not have them in stock. But anyways, they came in. I put them in. Still didn't have no spark. Of course, all this off camera. It has been several days since the last footage on the video. So I was tracing all my steps, but I went back to the points. So they need to be adjusted just right. And on this one, you need to use an Allen wrench on the end of it to turn the adjustment. So finally got them to adjust it properly to where they were actually opening and closing, because I couldn't see whether they were closing all the way or not. But anyways, long story short, that's what happened the last couple of days. I've been chasing the ghosts per se for this ignition system to work. Finally got spark. Okay. So I put all the spark plugs back in because I had them out, because remember I had put some transmission fluid in them into the cylinders to loosen up the, lubricate the cylinders and the rings and everything else. So now it cranks over real good, and we got spark. But when I started testing and checking on the carburetor, the throttle on the carburetor is totally frozen, pretty much rusted shut, and it does not open. I tried tapping on it, does not open up, not even a bit, does not move, not even a bit. So what I need to do to get this car going is to remove this carburetor and see if I can loosen up the throttle blade or the throttle, the throttle linkage. Not so much the linkage, the throttle shaft that goes through the body of the carburetor, because it's totally froze shut together and probably rusted. So, but I do want you to listen to it now. It's got a real nice steady crank, and I do not believe there's a problem with the valves because it's got a nice steady crank. And from being locked up to what it is now, it's a big improvement. So let's listen to it real quick, and then I'm going to remove that carburetor. So I'm just going to reach over from right here, and here we go. Real nice steady crank, and I'm real happy about that. I do have my battery charger here, so I'm going to put it back on while I remove this carburetor. But everything turned out really good. I put the same the same spark plugs that came out of them. There was nothing wrong with them. I just cleaned them up, re-gapped them, put them back in. And I think we're getting close to starting this thing up after more or less 30 plus years of this car not being on the road or not starting at all. Someone had cut this fuel line here, I guess, to put some kind of an additional or some other type of fuel pump on there, but it's a nice clean cut there. So that's how that is. And we got mud dauber stuff everywhere, all over this carburetor. This has been sitting for a long time, so look at that. So let's remove this carburetor and see if I can free up this throttle blade. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to pop the top of the carburetor off and make sure that the jets are clear and blow it out and kind of clean it up the best that we can so we can get this thing started for the first time in 30 plus years. So let's do that. Here we go. It's a beautiful day here in East Texas today, nice and sunny. I'm right here in the open, so you have a lot of light, so you can see everything also. Let's get this carburetor off and get to it real easy. Vacuum lines in the back. See if I can take out this big vacuum hose here in the back. Come on, get out. Wow. Put the whole thing out together. There you have it. It does have some dirt on the outside, as you can see. One of those critters, wasp nests, carburetor, gasket, base gasket. There's the back of it. Oh yeah, see all that moisture that had built up at one time, and pretty much corroded those throttle blades there. Can you see it? Did too much? Close up. Yeah, you can see how. Let's see if I can hold it here. They're nice and rusty in there, so we're gonna free all that up because right now we can't not even turn it. So it does have some junk in there, just moisture. Same thing inside of there on the intake. I can see some moisture build up. There's the throttle plate. Let me get these screws out. The plate here, so I won't lose them. And you can see why this was stuck. See all that rust there? It's a buildup of a lot of moisture, maybe even a little water. But there's no water in the engine or in the oil pan. I think it was just moisture. Look at that. Pretty nasty stuff. Check that out, guys. Look at all that rust in the throttle blades. So let me get this on the bench, put this on the bench, on my workbench. And let me play with it a little more and see if I can get, I should be able to get it working and freed up. I don't see why not. I mean, just a matter. Unfortunately, this base is cast iron and it's kind of, whoops, I kicked the camera. So the cast iron stuck on the steel, I guess, blades here on the throttle plate made it kind of rust itself in there, almost weld itself into the cast iron. So some of the stuff that came out. Let me play with this a little more and get this unstuck and then come back to you here in a minute. Okay, and we're back. I did get the throttle blade to move. I put some heat and got it to move, and it's freed up real good. So I feel good about that. So I went to the rest of the carburetor, and let me show you what I found inside the carburetor bowl, which is pretty nasty inside. As you can see, those jets are totally clogged up. So I'm glad I took it apart. So I'm gonna clean all that up and blow everything out, and hopefully we'll have a working carburetor so we can start this Pontiac 350. So let's get this cleaned up. Finally got the carburetor kind of cleaned up the best that I could. I did find a bunch of corrosion and debris and build up deposits on the inside, but I was able to clean it up. Maybe 90% of it, enough for it to make it run. So let's put this baby back on and see if we get this thing to fire up. A little extra gas in there. Okay guys, we're gonna hit it right now. We're gonna see whether it's gonna run. It should. We already got spark, and now we got fuel, and hopefully the compression will be good enough for it to kick over and start. Here we go. First start in 1989, 30 plus years. I'm just gonna hit it from here. Oh, check it out. I'm gonna move the camera to for the tailpipe and see what's coming out of the tailpipe. It does have a tailpipe, even though it's kind of hidden, but I'm surprised it even idled. Okay guys, now we got it started for a few seconds. I moved the camera to the tailpipe. It does have an exhaust system, and I don't know how good it is, but it sounded kind of quiet there when it idled for a few seconds. So let me hit that again, and let's see what comes out of the tailpipe. I'm gonna go inside the car, but I'm still gonna put a little more fuel into this carburetor bowl while you're not watching, and maybe it can run for a little bit longer. Okay. Here we go. It's actually idling. Can't believe it. Did you see all the stuff come out of the tailpipe? You probably did. Let me move it over here. The engine sounds real good. A little bit of rattle, but I think it's coming from the front water pump pulley that is wobbly because I don't have a fan on it. So I'm really happy and pleased with the way it's running. I'm not going to let it run too long because I don't think it has much water in it. But look how smooth that is. And I don't see any blow-by on it. No blow-by coming out of anywhere. Nice and smooth, and it sounds like it's running all 8. Oop, I opened that and the engine died. So maybe it ran out of fuel, who knows. But can you believe it, guys? First time this engine's run in about 1989, 35 years, something like that. I don't know. I'm not counting real good right now. But there you have it. So I am going to do an oil change on it. And then I'm going to hook up the fan and put water in it, and we're going to let it run for a while until it warms up. I still got to clean up and maybe flush out the cooling system. Look what's inside of the, let me put this to where I don't spill it. Let me see. Look what's inside that thermostat housing. A bunch of build-up from, you know, when the car was just sitting there for a long time. I found a bunch of that stuff too in the upper, radiator hose. But for the most part, it sounded really good. I'm really happy with it. And so far, so good. I mean, it's not even, I didn't even hear an exhaust leak of any type. And it's smooth enough to where it sounds like it's hitting on all 8 cylinders. Really happy with it, guys. So let's move on forward. And let's go ahead and do an oil change, put the fan back on, flush the cooling system, and keep going till we can have this thing idling, and then we can drop it in gear. I know the brakes are not working right now because I ended up removing all the brakes on the right rear because the right rear wheel was locked up. Let me set this on this camera on the stand, and let me talk to you a little bit more. We're gonna let it run for a few more seconds just because so you can hear right there from this angle. We already took an angle on the exhaust, a shot out of the exhaust. I think some rats or mice, houses came out of there. But I'm amazed this carburetor, just with a little cleanup, it ran as good as it did. It actually idled. It does have oil in it, guys, so it's dirty, but it's full of oil. And the oil line went out inside on the dash, so I know it's getting oil pressure. Let's watch it idle for a few more seconds. Ready? Here we go again. Yeah, the noise is from the front pulley of the water pump that is loose. So the engine is not knocking at all. Nice and smooth. But I am going to put the fan on there so we can hear it better. The power steering's even working. Let me shut it off. I don't want to run it for too long with that oil with no coolant in it. But yeah, this pulley right here on the front, it's wobbly. So, man, it's amazing. I'm just amazed on how well it runs. So let's do this. The rest of it, I mean, we made it this far. So I need to go. I haven't got the oil change for this car yet, because I don't know how far we're gonna get with it. But I need to go to the parts house or wherever I can get oil and a filter, and come back and do an oil change and a filter change. And like I said earlier, flush out the cooling system and put on the fan and let it run for a while. So great. Let me know what you think on your comments. This car hasn't run, since 1989, according to the sticker on the windshield and the sticker on the rear of the license plate. So it's at least 30 plus years. And it makes you wonder why the car even was abandoned or it was just let it sit for decades. Makes you wonder. So let's go ahead and go forward with it, and let's change this oil and do the rest of it so we can have it idle and running on its own for a while and see what it does. Then we're gonna let it run off a gas can first, and then we're gonna see the condition of the gas tank. I need to put a camera down the gas tank, one of those scope cameras, and see what that looks like and kind of go from there. But for now, this is great and it's working. So let's move forward with it. If you enjoyed this video and you got something positive out of it, please like and subscribe. Thanks for sticking until the end. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.